This is Sylvia Saber with OPtv Global Headlines. Starting with the top international stories for the day. The OIC Council of Foreign Ministers has agreed to establish a humanitarian trust fund to help Afghanistan people. At the conclusion of the 17th session of OIC Council, Foreign Minister of Pakistan Shah Mahmood Qureshi also announced that the forum had also decided to launch a food security program for the people of Afghanistan. Newly obtained Pentagon documents show that U.S. air wars in the Middle East have been marked by deeply flawed intelligence. The New York Times said that confidential documents also covered more than 1,300 reports of civilian casualties. Americans are less willing to take precautions as the coronavirus has entered a new stage with the emergence of the Omicron variant. The Monmouth University poll revealed that 6 in 10 Americans feel a little bit worn out about how the virus has impacted their daily lives. 2 rockets targeted Baghdad's ultra-secure green zone that houses the U.S. Embassy. Spokesman for the U.S. Central Command told the incident caused no casualties, yet no one claimed responsibility for the attack. Palestinian resistance group Hamas has condemned Israeli assaults on Palestinian female prisoners in Israel. Israeli prison authorities placed 2 female detainees in solitary confinement. Hamas called on the international community and human rights groups to shoulder their responsibility towards halting Israeli assaults against the Palestinians. Iran said that the technical inspection of new surveillance cameras for the Karaj nuclear facility has begun. The new cameras are provided by the International Atomic Energy Agency. Iran says these cameras are to replace those were damaged during an Israeli sabotage operation. A man has been beaten to death at one of Sikhism's holiest shrines in India. He was allegedly attempted to commit a sacrilegious act by trespassing into an inner golden temple in Amritsar. Minorities in India have called for assurance of safety from Indian government and urged Indian government to take steps to ensure a safe environment for minorities. Representatives of minority communities allege that the government has failed to bring an end to attack on minorities. At least 4 people died, including children, in a plane crash off Australia coast. Investigation has been launched on crash north of Brisbane. Torrential rains in Malaysia have caused flooding that has driven more than 29,000 people from their homes. The flood closed dozens of roads and disrupted shipping. More than 66,000 rescue personnel have been mobilized nationwide to help people stranded by floodwaters. Up next, we have the national updates. Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan called on Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa. Matters of mutual interest, regional security, the current situation in Afghanistan, and bilateral defense relations were discussed during the meeting. The Army Chief also emphasized that peaceful resolution of Kashmir dispute was essential for stability in South Asia. The Foreign Minister of Iran, Mr. Hussein Amir Abdullahian, met Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa at the General Headquarters on the sidelines of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. The 2 sides discussed the geostrategic environment, particularly the situation in Afghanistan, and defense and security cooperation. Prime Minister Imran Khan has warned that if the world failed to act in a timely manner, Afghanistan could potentially become the biggest man-made disaster. The Premier addressed an OIC's 17th extraordinary session that only way to handle terror outfit is a stable Afghanistan. FBR Chairman Dr. Ashfaq Ahmed visited the Pak-Iran border town of Taftan. The FBR chief was briefed about bilateral trade activities and making Taftan a trading point. He also visited places adjacent to the border and reviewed commercial activities. PPP Chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari accused PTI of involvement in recent series of events to tamper with local government elections in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Bilawal said that the ruling party is resorting to violence and rigging and trying to undermine people's choice. Pakistan's gas crisis to worsen as LNG supplier defaults. Singapore-based company says will not be able to deliver gas by January 10, 2022. Gunvor has also not yet informed Pakistan LNG Limited as to when this term cargo will be provided. The national flag carrier Pakistan International Airlines has acquired the first Airbus A320 simulator for the training of pilots, refresher courses and air safety. Pakistan will become the first country in the region that has acquired an A320 simulator for pilots training and air safety. Gas leakage blast killed at least 2 people in Quetta. The reason behind blast was the occupation of excessive gas in the room. The leopard population in the Margala Hills terrain is facing threat of extinction. The threat is not by poachers, guns, or natural causes, but deliberate poisoning. Locals allegedly leave out poisoned meat for big cats to protect livestock.
Equal justice under law. We haven't yet lived up to that promise, marginalized communities across our nation. I'm Faisal Gill. I saw how the color of your skin, so I went to law school because I wanted to fight to make the law work for all. Because I wanted to give back. Because Black lives matter. Because we need to incarcerate less and educate who deserves justice.
Up next, we have the health updates. The lines for COVID-19 testing are long from New York to Miami-Dade County. Again, the Omicron variant spreads faster than any other coronavirus variant. The White House has been pushing to make tests more accessible, but critics say that supply just can't keep up with the demand. Up next, we have the updates on science and technology. United States has recommended Google and Facebook parent Meta get permission to use an undersea cable system to handle growing internet traffic with Asia. The administration urged the Federal Communications Commission to grant licenses for the companies. NASA has confirmed that the James Webb Space Telescope will be launched on December 24th. The telescope will reveal what the universe looked like even closer to its birth nearly 14 billion years ago. Up next, we have the sports updates. New Zealand Cricket has confirmed it will tour Pakistan twice in 2022-23. The 2 tests and 3 one-day internationals will be part of the ICC World Test Championship and ICC Men's Cricket World Cup Super League. Pakistan has qualified for the semi-finals of the Asian Hockey Champions Trophy. Pakistan defeated Bangladesh by 6-2 goals and will face South Korea in the semi-finals on Tuesday. Indian off-spinner Ravichandran Ashwin has revealed his current favorite Pakistani cricketer. Ashwin praised Pakistan's important players including captain Babar Azam, wicketkeeper Mohammad Rizwan and paceman Shaheen Shah Afridi. Up next, we have the entertainment updates. Pakistani actress Maya Ali has featured in Filmfare UAE's list of most influential women this year. The diva exclusively spoken to the outlet over her views on women empowerment. Maya expressed gratitude to her friends and fans over their constant support. The first teaser of Sabha Kamar's latest cinematic offering, Ghabrana Nahi Hai, has been released. The clip promises an action-packed ride for lovers of desi crime thrillers. The film also stars Zahid Ahmed, Saeed Jabran and Nayyar Ijaz. United Arab Emirates has ended cinema censorship and will no longer censor cinematic releases. UAE introduced a 21 and above age rating for film it classifies for mature audiences. Up next, we have the business updates. Asian stocks fell on fears about a fresh global surge in coronavirus infections and as the future of US President Joe Biden's massive social spending bill was thrown into doubt. Tokyo, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Seoul, Singapore, Sydney, Taipei, Manila, and Jakarta were all well down. Pakistan is now one of the top 15 countries in the world in terms of Bitcoin usage. Pakistan generated a profit of $1.5 billion in the cryptocurrency market last year. Many analysts are predicting that it might have been considerably more if transactions were made easier.
Equal justice under law. We haven't yet lived up to that promise, marginalized communities across our nation. I'm Faisal Gill. I saw how the color of your skin, so I went to law school because I wanted to fight to make the law work for all. Because I wanted to give back. Because Black lives matter. Because we need to incarcerate less and educate who deserves justice.